Alright, trail number 2. See if we can come up with a good story for this trail. The deep dark forest. Doing pretty good on these trails today. With my new Huffy and my front and back shocks. I'm so excited to be out here. Although I'm not doing all that crazy shit. Excuse me. Whoa. Energy level's up pretty good. Need to watch out for these roots. So, what's the next story that I can tell? You know, I'll tell you my 2 dog stories. I had a dog when I was a kid. We lived in the Bronx, off of Tremont Avenue. We lived in probably a 10-story building, if I recall. Apparently I knew some kid that lived across the street. I remember. I mean, that's the only memory I have, 3 years old. But I had a dog, apparently. It was a French poodle. The dog's name was Pierre. It's a nice dog from what I recall. Don't remember much about him. But our street was a one-way street, so we always parked, obviously. Whoa, what the? Jesus. How am I gonna get up here now? Not making it. Come on, Tony, let's go. So, obviously you had to park on both sides of the street. Well, we were on the left side of the street one day. I was in the back seat with Pierre in our Ford Fairlane, whatever the hell that car was. Becca was on the right side, on the passenger side. I didn't know any better. I'm 3 years old. So I open the door. Pierre runs out, gets run over by a car. So that happened to me at 3 years old. Whoa, did you see that? So, at 3 years old, I accidentally killed my dog. Next dog I had was, actually we're gonna do 3 dog stories. The next one's really short. My father found a dog where he worked at Tolnoy Lumber in the Bronx and brought it home. It's like a baby lab or something. Anyway, it's an awesome dog. But 3 days later, unfortunately, he found out who the owners were, and we gave the dog back. I mean, we lived in New Jersey at the time. I was only 5 years old. So, the next dog story is, they bought me a dog because they weren't planning on having kids. Any more kids. So I had a miniature schnauzer. And of course I called him Snoopy. That was the only dog name I knew. Well, I had Snoopy for what? From when I was 5 or 6 till I was 17. 12 years, 13 years. And I went to college. And when I went to college, it was it's not easy.
It's not.
Went to college in September, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Daytona Beach. Now here's what happened, unfortunately. I was a troublemaker. Yeah, we're not doing that. That's the death ramp. We don't want to do that one. Oh. Watch out, yeah. So, you know, when you're an adolescent, you hate your parents. You know, all the cool people do, which is terrible. That's why Jewish people grow up successful, because they have good families. They never really hate their parents. They always have good relationships. Gentiles are all mucked up. Anyway, I sent a letter to James O'Reilly. Yeah, we're just talking about stuff about college, but in the letter I put in, if your mother reads this, she's a cocksucking mother fucking two ball bitch asshole piece of shit. So of course she read it. She sent my mother a copy. My mother disowned me while I was at college before Thanksgiving came up. Which, Jesus, that's a whole story, the Thanksgiving trip. But I did come home for Thanksgiving. It was a surprise visit, obviously, because we were on the outs. And sitting in the living room, my sister's like, "John, don't you notice anything different?" I'm like, "What? Apartment looks the same. Still the same old shitty carpet." She says, how could you not notice? Something's missing. So, finally, within 30 seconds, I'm like, "Oh my God, Snoopy's missing." Because my mother's saying, "Shut up, Arlene, shut up." My mother put the dog to sleep. If you ask me, she did it because of the letter. She killed my dog. I remember saying goodbye to him when I went to college, walking down the steps and from our garden apartment, or whatever you call those things. And I remember she came down the stairs. Snoopy, it was a she, of course. Becker calls it Snoopy. Snoopy came down, gave me a kiss goodbye. I patted her on the head and said, "I'll be back." Little did I know my mother was gonna put the dog to sleep. Oh well, that's life, right? She swears to this day that, "Oh, he had tumors and stuff, and he was in a lot of pain." Yeah. Meanwhile, the dog was alive when you had the letter, and a week later the dog was dead. So those are my dog stories. I never had another dog ever since. I had a roommate, a female roommate in college, who had a big German Shepherd. Boy, that dog tore up my room. It was a fun dog, but I'll pass on that. That dog would jump on you. That dog could rip your arm open just with his nails. Those are big dogs. Some people like big dogs. Good for you. So happy trails with the dog stories, huh?